Hello, everyone at the ICA. How is everyone? Good. Thank you so much today for coming to a talk, basically, about DIY and counterculture, how to build scenes and keep them going. I've got amazing guests here who are going to tell us all about this. And I will start over here with one of my first guests. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
Cool. My name's Elijah. I'm from East London, from the same place that Sherelle's from, Walthamstow. And I never do panels, but Sherelle asked, so I said yes. Give me. But I'm a DJ, a writer. I released a book earlier on this year, and I'm writing another book about what artists can learn from pro wrestling. That's me.
Hello, my name is NAINA. I am a radio presenter, a DJ. I make music as well, and I co-run a record label called Hoover Sound with Sherelle.
Yo, what's going on? I'm DaMetalMessiah. I run a page online, basically archiving music, mostly grime, that's my bread and butter. But like garage, jungle, dubstep, all that. I always say I try and give a platform to music I don't think's got a platform, basically.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Patrick, aka Killa P. I'm a music artist, recording artist. Thank you, engineer. Man, as I'm being respect. Good evening, everybody. Again, my name's Patrick. Yeah, I'm an artist, a rapper. But I really just like to speak on things that I see within my community, away from music, away from being all of that. So yeah, that's what I'm about. I'm about being a humanitarian amongst my community. That's it.
Hi everyone, I'm the Geordie one, Northern Token on the panel. I'm called Brains. I've managed a whole bunch of artists in my career, like Maya Jane Coles, Tricky, Nadine Shah, like really eclectic. I'm head of events globally for Defected, and I run He.She.They with Sophia.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophia, so I co-founded He.She.They with Stephen. I've been an artist manager for like 16, 17 years now as well. So on one side, I work with some artists like Moshak and Desiree, but with Stephen, we work on Cyrita, Emily Nash, and we run He.She.They together. We have a label, and I present the radio show for He.She.They as well.
Amazing. And my name is Sherelle, from Walthamstow, E17, gang. And I am a jungle DJ, footwear DJ, also now producer. Yes, run a label with NAINA, and just about, basically. So much about. I am here with everyone, obviously, at this amazing talk. I think it's good for us to start the first question, which is, has the place that you've come from shaped you creatively? And if not, what is that place that kind of gave you a different outlook on life? Let's start with He.She.They.
I grew up in a little town, farm town in the Midlands called Banbury. There was not a lot going on, and there wasn't a lot to inspire us culturally. We listened to a lot of drum and bass. That was like a very Midlands, Milton Keynes, like that was like one of my first introductions to dance music. The place that inspired me most was I went to Glastonbury when I was 17. It was my first weekend away from home. I went because a boy I fancied was going, but it actually ended up changing my life. And I came home covered in mud. It was like a mud pit year. And told my mum I wasn't going to do English at uni, I was going to do music. And like that was it. It just changed everything for me in like 3 days. So I guess this really was very inspiring for me at 17.
I was a council estate kid up in Sunderland, very, very white place, and I think, oddly, that's inspired who I've managed being like Tricky, Maya Jane Coles, Engineers Experiment, all these people that have always actually been non-white and kind of just different, because when I was younger, in this place where everyone looked the same, there was no gay scene, and me as a gay kid didn't see myself anywhere. I was just like, I used to look at the face and ID and all these mags and just be like, oh wow, like Grace Jones or MIA, all these people that just seemed fantastical and amazing. And then I went to Ibiza the first time, and I'd seen drag queens and guys holding hands, and it's this place which was just kind of very, very, very different to what I'd experienced. Like in my whole school of 400 people, there was one black kid in the whole school, and no Asian kids or anyone else. So it's like, this was just seeing, oh, like this is the world is, and that's why I moved to London and all those things. So I think it, my want for something that was bigger and better than what I had immediate was like why I got in these different types of music, I think.
Amazing. Killa.
That's crazy. I'll be honest with you, and it's nice to hear everybody's opinion, you know, because sometimes you're in your own world and you think your world is the world, right? So it's nice to hear your opinion and yours, my sister. But watch this now. I actually grew up in Brixton, where I feel like there was a culture of sound system culture first, what introduced me to the sound of dub, basically. So the bass is what I thrived off of with regards to sound systems. Years down the line, obviously we evolve, and we've become artists that work with different genres, being able to travel the world and see how our music has affected other people around the world. I think that is what keeps me, that's the driving force right there. The fact that we touch people that we didn't think, we're coming from a time when there wasn't social media. We didn't even know that we would touch someone over there. And if you was, you didn't know it because no one was there to report it back. So I think we're living in a time now where we're actually seeing that even from a bedroom somewhere in South London, you could be touching people in India and Africa and Croatia and, you know what I mean? We're at a great space right now, I can't lie. It's just a lot of spaces are being misused. That's all I would say.
I'm actually from Southend, Essex. I think it's technically a city now, but not really. And growing up, my dad was a dancehall DJ, so I was raised on a lot of dancehall, old school hip hop. And naturally, it goes without saying, as a white young guy from Essex, wasn't really a lot of people I could talk to about dancehall. And the very few people that could talk about it, I became friends with. So I guess in some way, that shaped me creatively, because I treasured those friends and those connections more. And by the time I hit 18, there was no nightlife, like a lot of places outside of London. So I naturally had to fly up to London. I had to seek out the music I liked. And yeah, I think I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I didn't have such an eclectic music taste from so early by my dad.
Big up.
Yeah, big up. What is the places actually that you used to sneak off to?
I used to go Camden Assembly a lot.
Okay.
Egg, don't judge me.
No judgment. No. There's no.
I was young.
There's no judgment.
Yeah, just a lot of grime raves. Like, I remember I was meant to be doing, I think, my GCSEs, and I saw the tweet from Skepta saying, Shoreditch car park this time. I flew out of there. I was straight on that train up to London. I was there. Still treasure that moment so highly. So, yeah.
That is a very good choice. Very good choice. NAINA.
I grew up just outside of West London in this tiny town called Burnham. It's like near Maidenhead, Slough, Reading. There was fuck all there. There was one club, I worked in it. I actually had no sort of music people around me. My parents didn't really, because they're both born in Africa, I don't think they've knew about a career in music, especially for someone like me. So they were a bit worried about, you know, what I would get myself into, whether I could earn a living from it. But they supported me because I said, oh, I don't know if I want to go to uni. I just don't know if, like, education is for me. But then I found a course called music journalism, which doesn't exist anymore. But at the time, it was at Southampton Solent. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And I think when I went to uni, that's when I met some of my people, because they were other people that just everything in their life was about music. And that's when I also learned to DJ at university, met other DJs, and then when I came to London, I really found my people.
It's probably, and it sounds strange to say, we've had this conversation, but it is where we're from, Walthamstow, and it's also a mixture of Brixton as well. Brixton being represent, obviously, and meeting such amazing people there, and actually being able to forge a career, even though a lot of the time we'll be at the radio station just drinking, throwing hats on each other and stuff, like just doing really stupid stuff. And then Walthamstow on the basis of, like, there's a lot of interesting, amazing music that has come from East London. But then also the history of jungle, of rave, along the A406 has definitely shaped my view of music. I just think London is very fortunate to have so many hubs for music. There are so much amazing sounds coming from here that I think we take it for granted, especially when you might go to a rave and you expect the London crowd to be Gunfingers led, and sometimes we're a bit headsy, up our arse. Whereas when you go up north, no, it's true. When you go up north and everyone is like really gagging for this music because it's it's so far away. Do you know what I mean? It's like
we actually dance.
Yeah.
And because no, this is the thing though. When you go to London, it's very much like impresses.
Yeah.
And we're up north, we're just like been working in a fucking call center. I just want to dance. And it's literally that, like, it's quite feral in a good way.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm definitely unhinged.
I wish we would do more. Us Londoners, we need to dance more and be less stush.
I think we've been listening to that song from the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't wanna dance.
Oh.
Dance to the rhythm no more.
It's a good song, though.
You have to understand, do you know how lucky you are to see Killa P just sing that?
All right, I'll answer in song. I'll say an example, right?
Go on.
Where I'm from has influenced me.
Yeah.
Our squad, Extra, we're from East London. When a man them a book, man them like easy. That's one. I went to the same school as More Fire Crew.
Yeah.
Oi came out. I was 16 when Pow, like that song came out. First summer on road, Victoria Park. I went this festival, Respect, free in the park. Heard and saw Wiley performing What You Call It. Yeah. And he says all these things, like what do you call it, garage, what do you call it, urban, and he doesn't say grime. So that music and idea didn't even exist yet. And then gradually the word came and stuck. The first line of a song that has the word grime in that I can find is Kano Mic Check from Home Sweet Home, which is 20 years old this month. Because he says, what do you call it, garage? What do you call it, grime? Call it what you want to call it, I'm fine. So that's the first time it's in a song, I think. Yeah. Unless someone can correct me. Done. Off the cuff. 20 years. Yeah. Fuck. Where did it go? I guess it's now everyone's chance to sing in song. What was everyone's first attempt of their own version of DIY within their scenes? And why was it an important step for them and their career? Okay, I can start. Yeah, because everyone went. I'll start. For me, I basically had a blog with a friend called Tamid. We had a blog called Influx with 3 X's because we were so edgy. And I looked after the music side, he looked after the fashion side, and we had another girl that we worked with in Top Man, Oxford Circus. All retail, all broke, but we tried to do a thing. And essentially, I was able to blag my way into festivals to speak to people. So I blagged my way into whatever festival was about in London, then would interview people, but then would film the sets, but then would also like write about them and give them reviews. And then we were able to like go into these various different like press media junkets just to be talking to people. So I was like chatting to like Lady Leisha, and then found Roscoe, and then would also be watching Subtract on the side of a stage and like Teed and stuff. So from that, I felt like, oh my God, I can do it. And bearing in mind, I had a camera which was so shit. This camera was so dead. But yet, people wanted content, video content at that time. And they allowed like this 18-year-old girl with Justin Bieber fringe with a Trilby hat on to interview all these people, because that's what the blog era was. You had to kind of just do your own thing. And that was like a really fun experience, because from that, then I was able to then move to Represent, because I needed that next thing. All of the experience actually I learned at Represent, I used it on my application form to do the courses there, and then be on the radio, work my way from mornings, covering morning shows, to then being given a specialist slot. That's how you had to do it. The aspiration was to be like NAINA, right? And NAINA's show on Represent, right? And no, but it's true. She's laughing, but it's true. And, you know, everyone followed that same structure, and the rest is history in that sense. So that's, I guess, my form of
a DIY thing that I did. And, you know, I knew no embarrassment. I was embarrassing myself every day in front of these people, knowing full well that I wasn't as good as the other publications, but I wanted to be so close to music. So, yeah.
I think that's a part of being relentless.
100%.
You know what I mean? It's a part of the overall package that you have to have when you're trying to achieve something. I mean, you're not just trying to achieve something, but you're going for that box over there. And nothing will stop you from getting to that box. That's all that is. Yeah. So, I mean, in everything that we start, we still have to create the foundation of it. So I started off rubbish. I started a crew called So What Crew. I was the shittest MC in my crew.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't think people know this. Let me break it down for a second. Sorry to skip the cue, but I just had to...
No, it's cool. Thank you for being honest.
I created a crew called So What Crew. My people from my ends in Brixton thought, oh, he's trying to be like another So Solid, he's going to flop. I was the shittest MC. The younger kids that I had round from my estate, there were about 20, 30 of them, they were all better than me. Literally, all of them were better than me. Years down the line, through consistency, look where I am today. And if I could tell you out of the 30 of them, there's probably only one of them that still raps now. Do you understand? So when you're relentless and you know what you want and you are not stopping at anything, no matter how you started, you're going to end up somewhere where you see yourself. But you have to want to see yourself.
100%. Do you feel that when there's an element of doing it for yourself, there's also that sense of accomplishment that you're like, yeah, fuck it, I actually did do that. I was able to achieve. Because I guess for anyone here, you know, that there's always that, you have an idea and you'll be like, oh, no. You'll be like, no. And it's that first, I guess, 3 seconds that if you just don't listen to that and you just go for it, you actually never know where it's going to take you.
Do you know that making things manifest is like magic?
100%.
Once you find the formula of making things manifest, ideas that you want to... Remember, where a lot of people are artists that write songs. I don't write songs. I create them in my head. So for me, I look at it different, that I create an idea out of nothing. I use a bit of air that everybody here is using every day. And I create something that everybody sings along to, yeah?
Big
and we make money from this as well.
100%, yeah.
So it's the same formula.
Well, how did everyone create their own journeys in that sense? So how did we create He.She.They?
Well, yeah, my DIY was a little bit different because I kind of started off after the uni degree I did after the Muddy Glastonbury, which was music and live production. I then went to work for WME, which is one of the big booking agencies. So I kind of ended up like in a bit more of a corporate space from not at that moment knowing what my DIY thing was going to be. So I did that for a couple of years. I worked for like Swedish House Mafia when it was like the boom of EDM, but it just didn't set my soul on fire. And then Brains and I met. We started working together. We were doing artist management together for many years, and that us kind of talking after tours and things about being frustrated about things that we were seeing and you know, like lack of diversity and all of these things and just lack of energy at these parties from how diverse our friendship group was. Like we'd have after parties, but people would have come from like 6, 7 different club nights of where they felt they belonged the most. But then we were all getting on great at this after party and it was amazing. So it's like, but where's the space at like a Fabric on a Saturday or wherever where we all feel that we can go to something? And so that was kind of how our DIY thing of He.She.They was sort of born. Was okay, we've worked long enough, we've built our own kind of like career reputations and contacts, but actually if we're getting frustrated, then there's definitely lots of artists and lots of people that are getting frustrated. So how do we use our position to create something that is what we want to go to and is what we feel like the scene needs? Because we often kind of go into more mainstream spaces, be them straight or queer spaces, and diversify them there. Because we could put on a He.She.They rave like in a warehouse like somewhere, a secret location, East London, like, and it'd be amazing. But we wanted to make some change in like the spaces that we felt. And there's a lot of people in those spaces that want to make change, but actually are too scared because they don't want to fuck something up or don't know how to do something authentically, so they just keep doing what they're doing. But actually, if you they've got people that come in to speak to them. They're actually really willing to make change. They just need a bit of authentic guidance.
100%. As a footnote, this talk is to encourage you not to do that. So you're going to go away and do stuff that's scary to you, and then you're going to do something amazing. Other people, no, it's true. I'm deadly serious.
Can I just add to that as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Because a lot of times as well, I think this is why it's good having a buddy system. Because Sophia and I both push each other to do bits where we're like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. Like, for instance, when we first started He.She.They, we conceived it. Then we went round ADE just telling every fucker we were going to do it. Like, oh, we have to do it now. And then, like, that's in, like, 20-odd countries around the world now. It's getting mad. Like, kid from the Kansas State rave running a 12,000 capacity rave in Chile makes no sense. But we do it. And it's like, every time we're like, this might just not work. And it's like, well, do you know what? If it doesn't work, it's fine. And the whole thing about manifesting is like, we just said shit out loud to people. Like, part of manifesting is just telling someone else, I want to have a club night in this place. Because like we did a takeover Coachella, and people were like, how did you get that? We emailed Coachella and said, we don't think this is particularly diverse in certain areas. Can we go and put like some black and brown and trans artists in there? Yeah. And it's really, I think so many people, there's a lot of really fucking talented people who don't put themselves in the firing line to fail. And therefore, every time you might win, you have to be prepared that you might fail. And this whole pick me thing doesn't happen. Like, oh, one day someone will discover us. They won't. Like, so sometimes you'll have someone, like when I first started ever doing a club night, right? I'd been randomly podium dancing because I'd seen this guy holler out a cantaloupe with his knob in Ibiza. I laughed at this guy.
Excuse me?
No, this is true, right? So I laughed at this dude on stage, and then randomly it was a manumission, and one of the club owners was like, you wouldn't do it. And I was like, well, I can't fucking holler out a cantaloupe, but I'll get on the podium. Then this guy was like, oh, we want to do this club night. It was Peach in Camden Palace. We want to do it up in Newcastle. I was 16. I was like, I'll do it. Had no idea. Me and my agoraphobic mum are like booking like DJs, guessing what the cost is. Like, it was so weird. But then because I worked for them, Ministry headhunted me. I've basically fallen upwards the whole time. I'll do it. I'll figure it out. But it's that thing of like you said, you're never going to be good at it anyway at the start. So you might be 10 out of 10 good at the thing, but if you don't put the hand up, and the 6 out of 10 person puts the hand up, most people, like say if I've got a problem at work, I need, someone to do this job. I just need it done. So whoever puts their hand up first, I think isn't going to fuck it up, or hopefully do well, but they get it because they put their hand up. So you do have to just try, because we were all not very good at something at
100%.
first.
Cock out or not cock out, we have to attempt to try something.
My cock was firmly in, like, unless it presented me with like...
That was my next,
if it was like a tomato, maybe I would have had a go at it, but not a cantaloupe.
You did...
Why are you not doing this?
This is a great chat. For everyone else, is there anything you want to add to, say, for instance, the DIY element of things? Is there a moment in your career, or is there something that adds further to the conversation about being very much resilient and making sure that you're constantly doing something?
Yeah, I think after I finished uni, a bit like you, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's a bit of a weird time. I have this degree in music journalism, and I couldn't get one job in music for so long. So I was writing a blog. I was trying to keep my journalistic skills current and relevant by writing about albums and going to shows and writing about shows and stuff. And then just every single week recording a mix, because I just learnt to DJ at uni. And like those mixes were getting 0 streams. They were up on SoundCloud, and I was just doing it every week for the love of the music, wanting to DJ. And that's how someone at Represent Radio found me and asked me to come on their show. And I hadn't heard of Represent back in the day. And I was like, yeah, I'll come in and do a show. And then it's that thing of like not having any fear and not actually having a fucking clue what you're doing.
No embarrassment either. The element of you have no fear of embarrassment.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm just going to roll with this. And then they Represent were looking for new shows. I'd never hosted a radio show in my life, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I just went for it. And I think joining that station and having that community and that DIY culture around me, like at the time, shout out Adrian, Lord A, we call him.
Lord A.
He was the station manager at Represent at the time. And I think he kind of just like had this weird trust in me. Like, as long as I don't fuck shit up too bad, just let her run with these ideas that she wants to do. And I was very, very lucky to have the station manager's belief in that way, because I was like, oh, we don't have enough women. We don't have enough footwork and techno and weird electronic shows. I'm just going to bring loads of people in. And we don't have enough South Asian shows. I'm going to bring these guys in. And then we don't do a club night, or my friends aren't getting booked to DJ. I'm going to start a club night at the Alibi.
Oh, all right.
And like, he just kind of let me use the brand. And because I was doing my show and then I also got a job there, he was just like, yeah, she's doing what she's doing for the sake of the love of the scene and trying to like
100%.
grow her friends together, because we were all really, that's how I met Sherelle, was at Represent, and we made a really, really lovely group of friends there. And I think that changed a lot for us.
100%. NAINA is the reason why I was still on Represent and I still have a career, because I was about to be kicked off for
There's a lot of
my
swearing
laptop.
in footwork music, right? We were an off
I didn't clean
conversation.
it, didn't give a fuck. But also I did bring my laptop in and used to play my music from a DSP. That's how little I cared at one point about my show. And then I found Footwork and Jungle, and then it changed and I was like, please don't kick me off. I want to play Footwork and Jungle. Then Adrian looked at NAINA, looked at me and was like, you've got 6 weeks. And luckily, I'm still here. Now, for the both of you, I feel like you, although from different backgrounds, share a similarity in platforming, say, for instance, musical genres, but also caring a lot about legacy. What do you both have to say with regards to that? Because I feel like, you deciding, hey, actually, I'm going to make, say, for instance, like quotes, but then they're also, I want you to think about what I'm saying, given your background, your historical, legendary background. And for you, hearing your story, obviously coming from Southend and understanding that you've got a wealth of knowledge about music, the way that you talk about, say, for instance, tracks or artists, you're very deep in your legacy perspective. You want people to understand this. So I guess, for the both of you, how do you feel about how you've managed to use DIY culture to your advantage?
You want to go first, bro? Or...
Nah, go on, kick it off.
All right. Shall I big you up? I'll big you up. Like,
please, go on.
All right, I'll big you up and then you big me up, yeah? All right. Okay. In 2021, I thought someone like you needed to exist, like collating all of this like information about grime and dubstep and all this kind of sound system culture that's been happening over the last 20 years. I just felt everything was just getting forgotten, or it was very disparate. Like the context of things are lost, the songs are lost, all these little special moments, these special lines. And I suggested to someone else that they should go down that path, and they didn't do it. But when you popped up, as you know, at the beginning, I was like, nah, just share everything. I'll just share, like, because all these little stories. And then I started to learn from them as well. So I thought I knew a lot about grime and the kind of culture and scene and a bunch of people that I was part of. But then you started unearthing all these stories that I'd never heard. And that became super interesting. Then you see the artists also adding their 2 pence and punching in. It's super interesting. Like, follow this page. It's called DaMetalMessiah. No one knows what he looks like.
I'm really sorry.
Until now.
You got a blank out his face on the video, but like, it's super sick. When you go through each post, you're like, wow, there's like 20 insights into like a single song or a line or a hat or some this like sort of minor detail. And I just wish this kind of formatting existed throughout the whole wave of what we were doing, because what we were doing was important. And there were people documenting, many over the generations, but the platforms keep changing.
Yeah, more like photography-based, imagery-based.
Yeah, but what happened is like we started on like say Blogspot, then I was like the admin moderator of Grime Forum. So if anyone is above 35, I was deleting your posts. I was like telling Wiley to simmer down. Like I was doing all of that stuff on the internet pre-2008. And then now, obviously, we had Twitter and Facebook, and again, a lot of history is lost. And then now, Instagram and Instagram and YouTube has been like the stable ones over the last 10 years. Twitter's dead, and TikTok is just so fast moving. So yeah, man, I appreciate it, man, because it's like it's making people revalue all of that work that a lot of people did and was underappreciated. So big up.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, and that was the thing for me. Like, I remember there was a time where I'd learn grime through YouTube. So a lot of his songs, they'll be like on a vinyl released on white label 10, 20 years ago. And then sometimes I'll go on YouTube and the song will be gone. I'm like, right, can't find it anywhere. And I was like, how can a song just disappear? You know what I mean? Like, someone made this, it had some value, and now it's just gone. So I just started uploading things on YouTube that I had and was like, obviously I care about it. I'm sure other people do. And it took off pretty quick. And even artists started reacting to it. Sometimes it was, what the fuck are you doing? Take this down. Other times it was like, oh, even I don't have this. Can you send me my own song? And I was like, well, clearly there's some worth in this sometimes. Yeah, and I think I hated the way people spoke about certain types of music as well, especially grime. Maybe you have a better perspective than me, but I felt like grime was always like this little bro genre. It's always this thing like kids were making this music on like shitty computers, on like cracked Fruity Loops. Yeah. But then it was some of the most important music of the 21st century. Like Rusk were making stuff in 2003 in their bedrooms. 10 years later, Stormzy's made it into like adverts, and there's some value in that. And I think it's teaching people that, because when I ever talk to people like Ruskwood, you know, Function the Low, like Together, classic songs, I'll talk to them, they'll be like, you know what, like no one's ever asked us like how we made this song. And I just think that's mental. So yeah, it all started from that. I always say I'm a fan first. So for me, I'm just exploring my hobby, I guess.
100%. That kind of brings us on to the next question. Because we don't have as much time as I would like, we need to, I want to know this quickly. Social media on this kind of case, is it a hindrance or a curse? Because with everyone's stories, I would say that we've all benefited off of it. But I do think largely that there is a generation that may be maybe slightly disillusioned with some parts of it because, you know, the performance of, I'm a DJ, wow.
That one.
And don't get me wrong, it's ironic for me to do that, but...
Definitely that one.
Why is that ironic?
It's not. It's actually kind of also not at the same time, because when I actually did go viral for Boiler Room, I had no idea that was going to go anywhere. I had no idea it was going to go viral. That was supposed to be my own little keepsake. That I was like, I've played a Boiler Room, hee. It's had 400 views. That's the vibe, because of the fact of the music that I was playing at the time. But I feel like social media has also helped me.
You know
no,
what?
I am trying it.
No, don't try it.
But it's true.
Okay, the clip got posted.
Right.
You know this story?
No.
Okay, the clip got posted, and then it was like on like 4 retweets. And I reposted. I was like, oh, this is going to mean something or something like that. And then Virgil reposted it. Do you know this? Nah. No. Okay, I've got the evidence.
Yeah, I got the evidence.
I've got the evidence. Yeah, Virgil reposted it at the time on Twitter when Twitter existed. It was like literally as it happened. I'll show you. Have you never seen this?
The man's really got the receipts.
I got the receipts.
I'm dying.
I got the receipts, man.
My shock and slight sadness on that, because he was actually someone that was very, very nice to me, and we would have nice DMs.
Look,
him on my show.
okay,
Fuck
look.
off.
This will become an iconic clip, and then Virgil Abloh retweet. There you go. That was at the time. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Virgil.
Yeah, rest in
He's
peace.
a real proper one. Yeah, like...
You're a dangerous guy.
Very dangerous guy. No, I've got to put it on the page now. I'll get that on a T-shirt. For myself, though, not for everyone else. Social media, hindrance or a curse? Go.
I think it's what you make of it.
Oh, hello. Okay,
I
go.
think if you don't evolve with it, it's always going to be there, so you have to kind of like switch it up and go with it.
I feel like it depends also where you're from. I think it can be a real lease of life depending on where you're from also.
I think it's really good. It's meant that we connect with all these people everywhere, and like we've been able to talk about Gaza, abortion rights, to fucking everything, because it's what you use your platform for. Like in COVID, we still posted about Stop Asian Hate, Black Lives Matter, all these things, when we couldn't sell someone a ticket. And it was noticeable how many people didn't post when they couldn't sell you something, which I thought was a bit gross.
No, 100%. I mean, I was watching like a podcast yesterday before bed. One of the Hadid sisters, Alana, was talking about, say, for instance, posting a lot on social media. She had like an amazing guest in called Aya Monet, who was essentially, they were both talking about like how social media can be quite overwhelming. I think especially from what is happening at the moment within Gaza, you can go from seeing a clip of someone DJing to unfortunately maybe a really distressing clip, all the way back to a meme, and then that's it. In the same video, they were talking about how overwhelming it is. You know, is social media, say for instance, an illusion in some form of the sense? What does everyone feel about how social media has actually affected their own careers, but also their kind of DIY energy to, say for instance, the spaces that they represent?
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
All right. I think social media is a great tool. Totally great tool. It does get misused. A lot of the time we see a lot of the misuse of that. But if you can see the powers behind social media when it's used in the right way, i.e. if one of us was releasing something right now and we all was to repost the same thing, you see the traction that it would get. Or if we done a collaborative post on all of us right now, you will see the reach that it would reach because it's all of our followers. I think the more that we unify in spaces, we become greater within that space. Social media is a tricky thing because anybody can be within that space, right? So as much as you got a pocket full of people that's pushing positive content, messages, etc., it is definitely bombarded by the spams of the weird comments and the weird other posts that kind of filters out your post, which is positive. You get what I'm saying? So if you look at social media today, anything positive is being shadow banned. It doesn't get the reach that if you say something negative, that's globally gone viral already. But put something positive in front of social media, it's nuts. But again, how have we used it to benefit us as a DIY? I feel like the people today that listen to artists would like to know the artists better, personally. What do you do? What is your personal thoughts? What do you stand for? What do you not stand for? You know what I mean? There's more to an artist that I think the normal consumers would like to know. And I think social media has allowed the supporters, the fan base, to be able to tap into what that artist is really about not behind closed doors, but away from just music.
I would definitely agree with this because I think it's been super helpful for, at least on my career, on the basis of, Virgil Abloh retweeting a video all the way to, like, I guess, even with the music stuff now, like, releasing that album was quite scary on the basis of getting that out there to people, but it was nice to be able to see people like it and get it out there also for me. Videos of, or at least doing music videos has helped as well. With the album, me dancing like an absolute dickhead in Speed, or say, for instance, doing stuff with like George and trying to create some sort of like mini version of Gossip Girl in Freaky Video and all this kind of stuff is like always been like really good to do, I guess. Social media has helped someone like myself. Obviously, I'm Musk presenting Dyke, if it wasn't clear from the T-shirt. And those kind of spaces, to see someone like myself or to see others who are doing really well and stuff, another Dyke to mention, like a Lorraine James, is good because you feel that oh wow, someone looks like me over there and they're doing what I would like to do. This is good. And I think that's like a really important thing. One of my last questions is, how can we best be physical in, in the space that we're in now, actually in touch with reality, as opposed to being online all the time? I say this because I sometimes do think that there's a lot of pressure on artists, DJs, you name it, anyone in music, could be anywhere else, to say something, do something on their stories or in a post, and therefore that proves that they are a good person. And I'm not going to lie to you, some people do that all the time, and they are not very good people. So there's a lot of narcissism you need to also be aware of, unfortunately, when people do posts like this, because they might seemingly seem like they're about it or about something, but unfortunately it's for their own ego. So how do we best stay within, you know, the physical space and actually do stuff physically, like put on club nights, say for instance, turn certain legacy information into museum exhibitions? How does everyone feel about that? Like how would you go about it, or have you got an example of you doing something more physical led?
Well, we could talk about no edits. I think the thing about like posting on Instagram, but then actually like all of you guys being in this room today, it's about the panel talk, but also like the conversations that you guys are going to have after this. And I think that's really, really key to sort of build your own community and meet new people within the space, and also then chat to all of us about stuff as well, which is super important. And I think when a few of us left community radio, we really lacked that space, that we didn't realize we were so lucky to have that place in Brixton every year. Every week we'd go to, like on a Friday night and just like meet loads of people and hang out amongst ourselves. So when we didn't have that anymore and our careers were blossoming, we'd moved on, we really felt like a lack of space to do that in. And a couple of people are in the room that run record labels, that are friends of mine and Sherez's, and we all sort of like grouped together and created this new thing called No Edits, where we just run like a weekly community mixer at Carpet Shop in Peckham. And we get young producers coming through playing demos. We get artists to come through and do like Q&As, talks. We get artists to come through and do workshops on how they've created tunes. And it is just about, you know, building that community back. And like, it's not about being really active on social media. Obviously, we have to promote the event to get people to come down there. But once you're in the room, it's really about what happens in that room. And it's really
for
special.
Free, you know, and it's us Scuff Recordings, More Time, and Future Bounce. And like, we do this for free so people can come down and play tunes and just chat to people. The same way that hopefully, fingers crossed, you're all going to stay and chat to each other. Because it's all well and good, you know, being friends with people on social media, but actually chatting to each other is really lovely.
Yeah, there was that guy that came from Bristol just to give us a USB.
Yeah.
He'd come all the way from Bristol
to then go back
give us 2 USBs. And like, if he had messaged me on social media, I might have missed it. And now we've connected, and like I listen to all his tunes and we chat, and I think that's so important. And we met in a physical space.
100%. You've got, I guess, amazing examples of creating physical spaces for people to go to and be within. And for people to, hear what you've got to say and your unique take on the industry.
Yeah, like one of the, I write these like short notes on Instagram, or I used to write these short notes on Instagram, and one of them was, the best thing about going to watch your panel is the other people in the room, not the people in the panel, no offense. But like, it's real. It's like one of those things where I still go to like a lot of events, like other people talking about different subjects, and then usually I don't end up talking to the people that like maybe are paid to see, or the people that are on the panel releasing the book or releasing the record or whatever. It's just the other people that are there too. And I've made a lot of friends like this. And it's been like, especially in the last 4 years, like I guess my going out diet, I maybe go to like maybe one club night a month, maybe one concert, a couple lectures, maybe to go see a film and go and watch football. So my like outside diet is quite varied. But I'm only going to maybe one night, whereas 10 years ago, like maybe even longer, I'd go to like maybe 4 nights a month, and then I was DJing and all this kind of other stuff. So I think as part of a balanced experience of this city, just going to like a kind of talk thing, in and amongst the music things, in and amongst doing a radio show, in and amongst writing some shit or taking some photos or going to a free party or going to, do you know what I mean? It's like having a kind of better, like, broader experience of this thing, you know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. Does anyone have anything to add?
I was just going to say, ultimately, though, humans are just like animals. And we are tribal, and we need to be there to see each other, smell each other, see non-verbal communication, hug, all those things. And it's just like ways of organizing, and sometimes just feeling as well that you're not, like, alone. Like with He.She.They, we've never had a dress policy. We encourage people from all backgrounds, and we say like our house rules are like, no transphobia, no homophobia, no ageism, no racism, la la la. She set like an intention. And it's just quite nice to see quite a disparate bunch of people. Like in Ibiza, we used to get people who were like 50, 60, 70 coming on their own to the night because they felt like this was a space that they
As they
go to
should,
where they felt maybe somewhere else they couldn't. And I'm like,
Yeah.
or we've had a lot of people come out, a lot of people realize they were trans or cross-dressed for the first time or different things like that. And it's like, I love that we've created a space where people just feel that they can push the envelope a little bit. And it's not just an online thing.
No, 100%. It is so important for physical space.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, this is really good that we're all here and, you know, watching it, listening it, taking it in, but it's so good that we have it for you to, I don't know, like, someone could walk away from here, have, like, the biggest idea, and the next thing you know, that's, like, changed their whole outlook and trajectory in life, basically.
Glastonbury.
100%. 100%, yes,
Yeah,
Glastonbury.
just like
And
this.
we've been trying to also be as big a part of as many conferences and music things as we can, because like discussions like this are so important. And some people are either doing their own DIY thing already, or really want to and have an idea, or are part of a bigger organisation and are trying to bring a DIY element into like a bigger space and create change like from inside a space. So for us to be able to create mixers and different things where you don't need a delegate badge and things like this. So even if you know it's happening, but you maybe couldn't afford to go to the conference, we want to create those things and WhatsApp groups where everyone can join a QR code so they can take away those in-person interactions into the digital space. And then we've seen other meetups spawn from those WhatsApp groups, so like people in different places. And so it's like mixing the physical and the digital and allowing people that space to continue the conversation.
I think you're so right, because I'll be honest with you, social media has detached us from having physical, like, networking skills. Like, there's a lot of big personalities online, and if you put them in this room right now, they wouldn't know how to say hi to you.
100%. Like.
And this is the problem that we have in society, that we need to break the barrier of, we need to bridge that gap. And this is why these things are important. Not just for us to be up here, but for us to engage after. So that
100%.
we don't know who's in the crowd that might need that little extra push or that little, you know what I mean? Encouragement to know that it's okay, safe space.
I think that's a perfect place to end on. Thank you, honestly, so much to everyone that has been on the panel, saying yes and being in this space. Everyone, give it up for this amazing esteem. Yeah.
You're playing tunes afterwards, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna play some gentle music. Well, I say gentle music for you afterwards. But no, thank you very much for coming. And then see you out there.